Our next speaker comes from Austria. Okay, Vienna to be exact. And she's a mask removal coach. I'll leave you guessing on that one. A war gen healer, and she likes you to become who you really are. She's a mom of 2 little girls, and she loves every single day. So please welcome Katharina Plange.
Good afternoon. Wow. Success masks, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you wear one? I did. Not just a mask so wide and so deep, you could have painted many faces on that mask. Like many of you, I was determined to be successful. Whatever I had to do, whatever face I had to show, to my boss, to my direct reports, to my family, even when looking in the mirror, I was going to succeed. And I succeeded. On a corporate ladder, I was 3 steps away from the CEO of a continental telecommunication company. I had money, I had bonuses, I had stock, I had recognition. In short, I had it all. Until the day I could no longer move. I was sitting with my boss, and when I went to stand, I couldn't move half of my body. I was terrified. Not for my health, but if I could leave my mask on or if I would have to tell my boss. I couldn't move, so I had to tell my boss. First, I was taken to the company doctor. They gave me drugs and a bed to lie down on before deciding I have to go to the emergency. Next thing I remember is being in hospital with all those intravenous needles sticking inside, pumping more drugs for 4 hours. I improved just enough to be released, and within 12 hours, I was back to work, back to success, right? Wrong. I was just back to the environment which led to my paralysis, except now I was on drugs too. Can we just say my problem was even worse? For the next weeks, I continued to take medication, so the paralysis kept me working. I had to see several doctors to get diagnosis and a cure. What was wrong with me? Nobody knew. So more drugs and back to work. More drugs and back to work. Until the day I had to see a neurologist, Dr. Alexander Sattler. You never forget the name of someone who saved your life. Dr. Sattler said, as you may have seen in so many movies before, that I have 2 choices. Choice number 1 is to run test after test after test, which we'll both know will find nothing. And choice number 2, you must change your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must ask you today, if you are going to die tomorrow, would you keep on doing the same things you're doing today? Cool. What do you think I did? Okay, it took me 6 more months, but ultimately, I quit my job. But I did more than that. I committed myself to never again do anything I don't love. So my mask began to come off completely. So, success masks are killing us, and it's time to intervene. But where do these masks come from? If you grew up in Europe like I did, you are suffering from the inheritance of war generation drama. In World War II, approximately 80 million people died. 38 million were on the run, refugees lucky to become immigrants, facing all new forms of poverty, oppression, and discrimination. Millions of people experiencing years of day-to-day violence, abuse, loss of loved ones, loss of culture, and newly formed alcoholic, chemical, and economic dependencies. So we inherit this drama, and by the time we are aged 18, we have already heard approximately 150,000 negative beliefs, with another 22 added on a daily basis. So can you imagine the enormity of this inheritance? No wonder we create success masks in order to deal with all those negative beliefs, emotions, and traumas that have been passed down to us. While there is much more I can say about it, I need a minute to uncover why we keep these success masks. The external factors I call the cycle, which include the pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals, the insurance companies, the corporations, the governments, the institutions, the shopping malls, and the media. They all help us to a slow and painful death. We spend about 30 billion a year on medicine just to get over our feelings. There is no time to look for the cause. We just deal with the symptoms. Does anyone understand what I'm talking about? How much money a year do you spend on medicine? How often do you feel like a robot just to function for your career, for your family, for your relationship? We are no longer addicted to our emotions, so no wonder every second marriage is divorced. Well, and internally, we are afraid. We are afraid of losing our jobs. We are afraid of losing the great money which we put back to the institutions, which profit from the whole cycle. We are afraid of disappointing our parents, and even worse, become like our parents. So the cycle continues. Well, I still have enough time to offer you some solutions. All of you can go home tonight and take a 10-minute meditation just to experience what will happen in your mind and in your body, what thoughts will come up and how will you handle them. Have you ever done that before? Many of you who are more into it, you can write me an email to get your free personal paper of happiness. And if you do the tasks mentioned in it, it will immediately help you to connect your mind with your emotions. And then you can start to search for your lifetime dream. And a select few of you who feel the pain is already intolerable, you have to make an investment. And if you are ready for that, I'm ready to give you the biggest return you can ever imagine. And this is your joy, your happiness, your freedom with your childhood, your job, and your family. Are you ready for that? Yes. But before, you maybe have to answer the most important question in your life. Are you really willing to change? Are you really willing to break off your success masks? Is your pain already big enough? Or do you need a life-threatening disease to live your rat race? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Katharina. Thank you.